Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Great Awakening Generator with me, Rose McNair. And of course, Claudia Tietjens is back. Hello, Claudia.
Sorry, guys, to not be here for such a long time, but life was so busy that I just couldn't do it. So we're back, and today
Yeah.
we will talk about, we'll combine something from our own lives, I think, and what Rose has been doing that I wasn't quite aware of, and that has crossed my path that matches that quite well.
Yeah.
And then hopefully we're going to explore some more of our past life as a dragon
I love it.
and ask for some healing from
Yeah.
that lifetime.
Yeah.
Yes, Rose. So, how are
Well,
you?
I'm okay. I'm okay. Last week I was feeling rather embarrassed. I went on about my new project. And I just thought, but I think I got some feedback from people saying it was okay to talk about it because a lot of people are going through that at the moment. And, we're thinking, what have we done to go back into that world? But we've done it because we needed to go and learn something more. And it's not long term. It's what it is. So I'm good. I'm still going through it. I had tried to get out of my project just to give a feedback. And in through the discussion, I realized actually it's going to be very late in the game to get someone to do what I do. And so I've decided to go with it. I'm not exactly excited by it, but I'm honoring it because it's good to have the blessing of work
Hmm.
because that's what we need in order to live on the planet. It's good to have the blessing of work. It always is, um, because of the benefits in it. But it's just what it is, and I'll learn what I need to learn in this. I'll take away what I need to. I'll give what I need to whomever it is that needs it there. And then it's I've said my time is up on the 22nd of December. They probably asked me to go back in January for just 3 weeks. I might consider doing it, but I'm not there for the next phase of it too, because this is phase one. Anyway, there you go. That's me. So much to say. I'm really glad you're back. And thank you that you actually did come back, given everything that was going on in your world, because sometimes life can be so overwhelming that we can say, I can't do this anymore. I don't think I'm supposed to do that. We can check in or not check in and make decisions based on the pressures of life.
Yeah, but I think it's like what you said. We are being presented opportunities for growth in whichever form they present themselves, either in work or with in relationships with family members, or just things that we have made a commitment to and we need to stick it out. And that's exactly what you've just said. So I've made a commitment to homeschool the children. So I need to run quite a few projects as part of that. Or
Mm,
that's how I see it
yeah.
anyway.
Yeah.
And that just takes a lot of time and effort. But at the same time, it strengthens my relationships with my children and my family. So it is very important that I do take the time.
Yeah. I
But
think
balancing it is always an interesting thing, eh?
yeah, yeah. And I think it's about I it's about taking control of the things you need to take control. I honor parents that homeschool because I feel like, I if I was when my daughter was in school, or that school going age, if I could have homeschooled, I would have done it. But it didn't work like that, and there's a lot of benefits in the mainstream too. We must not discount that. After all, there's a lot of honorable people in that. But I think it really sits right when we are suddenly doing the teaching for our children because we brought them here. We're being the
Well,
vehicle.
yeah, but it also allows them to grow at their own pace and in the directions that they want to explore. And
Exactly.
obviously, on a small scale, you can do that much more intensely rather than in a classroom with so many children. So, yes, both have got their pros and cons, but for us, this seems to be working, it works. And it seems to be the right choice that they want to
Yeah.
continue as well, because it's
Yeah.
very much their choice as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also allowing children to be themselves. I think for me, that would be the main
Yeah.
reason. And not controlling what's happening. It's not so much controlling, but I mean it is in saying, well, I'm in charge of this, right? But it's saying I'm allowing my child to be themselves and express themselves in a way that is naturally them. We're not programming them. We're making sure that there's as
No.
little programming as possible in the way they expand themselves
Yeah.
throughout their lives. Yeah.
That
Anyway,
and influences that are really not helpful
that's right.
for their growth. It's
That's right.
just a deterrent. So anyway,
It's a
yes.
huge topic that, and it might be a topic for another day because, and then
Mm.
you just said influences now, and all these thoughts pop into my head, but we won't go down that track because that was not what we were planning to do today. Well, because we can talk about anything, right? And we can go on for hours. And no, we don't want to go on for hours. We don't want anybody to save those people. They just never stop talking. They don't want to listen. Um, so
Yeah.
today, I really loved when we talked on Friday what you were going to talk about today. So please tell us what came to you that we should be discussing today.
So let's start a little bit further backwards. So obviously the dragons have been coming back into our dimensions over the last couple of years, I would say, maybe 3, that they've come a bit more frequently to help us support us in our growth. And quite often I had more of a feeling of being a dragon. So I have tuned into those lifetimes several times. I just love the feeling of speed with wind in my hair, so that whole aspect of flying through the canyon, that's my thing.
Yeah, doing
Sometimes
flips.
it
Yep.
expresses itself on the road as well, but
Okay. We're not encouraging irresponsible driving, people, but okay.
um so and it pops up every now and then. And through my journey that I have gone, I have just become more and more aware of all our different other lifetimes, and not as just in human incarnations, but in animal form, in unicorn form, dragon form, whatever you think you feel quite strongly about. And so these dragons keep popping up, and I feel if you're listening today, it's probably resonating in one form or another that you've had a dragon life. And quite often things still happen that carry on, like they do from human lives. We carry on karma. But this, if to me, it's slightly different. So, for example, what I've been dealing with is a rash, and I go through all the different layers, clean up some corners, and then you clean up your karmic issues around that. You're cleaning up all sorts of other triggers around it in all kinds of different forms. But then I work very closely with my friend Kirsten Robinson, and we just have fun playing with all these different things. And last week we thought, well, this dragon keeps popping up, and we're wondering what has happened to that dragon. So we tuned into that line, and my little dragon had a crash, and it crashed into a toxic plant. And this
Oh,
plant burnt my skin. So, in a way, another layer to this rash is this poisoning from that little dragon. And I can see it's a tiny little thing with blue, iridescent, shimmering scales. Most beautiful.
oh
But
man.
yes, so we took away that layer and, in a way, made an essence out of that toxic plant that still exists now. That was then the counteraction to that. So it has improved. It's another layer's gone. But I thought, why don't we have some fun today and try and go back to a lifetime where we were a dragon and see if anything is similar for you. So if there's anything showing as a symptom in your body that may have a layer from a dragon life.
Wow.
So I thought, let's just have a play.
I know. I never thought about it like that, that it could be from my, actually. I thought about it, like, you know what, I because of the pains and aches that I've been going through, the inflammation of my joints, I've actually thought about it as in maybe I am doing a lot of battle in sleep state, you know, and then I wake up in the morning, because when I wake up in the morning, I just can't move. But I mean, that's usually what the symptoms of rheumatoid is, right? But I have thought over the time that this has been coming on and coming on, that perhaps my work in sleep state is benefit is showing up in physical this way, right? Um, but I haven't thought it might be because of my dragon and what it's doing. And, you know, because, you know, if you're going to go flying through the sky like that, like, you know, when you explain your driving to me and how you like the wind through your hair and all of that, I mean, definitely you're going to crash land somewhere without, because you didn't see it. And then and isn't it good that it
Well,
was,
it was a little dragon, all right? It was
right?
a
So,
little.
so it was like, and also it's like you can see it landing in a plant, you know, and being affected by that poisonous plant.
Yes.
So I've
Mm.
got to say, like, you know, I know you've been busy and you've probably not watched um light language messenger and even here great awakening generator, but we've been invoking the dragons now. We did this like 2-3 months ago,
Mhm.
and I had the book Dragons Are Your Celestial Guardians by Diana Cooper, and I went and got it yesterday. I was at the library and I went and got it again. And I do believe, so some things I remember from reading the book because I had talked about it. I just want to say, so at the end of Atlantis, when Atlantis fell, the dragons, so the unicorns left, they went back to the seventh dimension. The dragons were offered the option to go to a higher dimension. I think maybe even higher than seventh. And I'm trying to find that part where that says that here, but I can't right now. Um, and what they chose to do was they chose to stay on the planet. They chose to go to sleep on the planet. And they have been returning. And what the understanding was when they chose to sleep on the planet was that when 2012 happened, they would start their awakening because they wanted to take us through this awakening process, because the awakening that is so rife at the moment started in 2012. And so the dragons have been coming back and coming back from, you know, from 2012. Now, not to all of us right away, because perhaps when we were ready is when we got it. I've always loved dragons, even as a child. You know, like dragons were like, oh, it's one of those people in my world. You know, they're okay. They exist too. You won't read about Merlin and all that and that, like not think about dragons, would you? Like you think about how you were as a child, right? And so I feel, and the dragon was in many times, many stories portrayed as the bad person who sits on top of the gold in his cave under the mountain. Like, you know, think about the Lord of the Rings and the Hobbit and the Hobbit story. That the journey, the battle in the Hobbit was to get all that gold from under the dragon, and in the end, they killed the dragon. I was so sad. I was crying about it
Mm.
because I was like, oh my gosh, I can't remember his name from there. But anyway, I've always had an affiliation to dragons. I've been a dragon. I've also been a dragon master, dragon lady. I had my dragon and we fought battles. I've seen recently one of the battles we were in and how we were captive. And it's really interesting, right? Because this is again coming back to the Akash. I was doing some meditation, coming back into doing my light language and doing some time together because there was stuff happening. Part of the reason I was doing it was because I was feeling so unwell. And then I got shown something in this where my dragon and I were in this thick web. We were captured in one of the battles. And we stayed there for a while. And that's one of the reasons I needed to go back in and I need to do the clearing and cut that web apart and get us out. And I
Mm.
did in my time. So in my time of prayer and holding space. So they're very much a part of our lives now. And so that you're talking about it, I feel like we need to bring more the dragon energy into our space and time.
Mm.
So I could say so much about the dragons because of whatever we've had experienced of now, with my light language messages that I was doing on here. And I went and got the Dragon Oracle card deck by Diana Cooper as well. that is matching this book. And we did invoking the archangels, Zadkiel's violet flame dragon. We did a lot of dragons, my gosh. But the dragon that I'm really fascinated is the gold blue dragons of Mercury. And in this book, she talks about how many types of dragons. We've got fourth dimension, we've got fifth dimension, we've got galactic, we've got, what else have we got? We got like so many categories. You've got dragons that work with the archangels. I think the last dragon we did with the archangel was Archangel Gabriel, the white diamond dragon. When Diana Cooper did that 22nd of October, that global monadic meditation, the dragons and the unicorns were there as well. If you were in the workshop and you did the long meditation, the dragons and the unicorns were there, and the other elementals. So they have a good place in our world, and that's my point about it when I'm talking about all of this, is to say that they have a good place. I think we were preparing, when I think about that workshop, all that we did with the dragons, all that we did with the unicorns this year on Light Language Messenger was preparing us in some way, shape, or form. We didn't know that until we got there. And I listened to Tim Wiles Chronicles message on Friday, and that's what he said as well. He said he was being prepared, and he's come to realize now, because he was one of the people he held the light of Helios. And he said it was only after that he realized, oh my gosh, everything he's been doing was preparation for that. So we on Great Awakening Generator and Light Language Messenger were doing the same thing with all our people. So that was really good. Anyway, I don't want to digress too much. Let's talk about what we're doing today. What's next, Claudia? And what is our intention with this?
What's next is my daughter is preparing for her theatre show and is asking me a question.
It's okay.
Mom, where are the chocolate chips? I need them. They're gone. They're in the cake. Please play. I think she's feeding half of the kids there.
Okay. And is she doing chocolate chips because she wants chocolate chips because she's doing icing? Maybe she's just icing or something.
I put them in the cake. They're gone.
Okay, well, chocolate chips. There you are. There they are. They're hiding.
Sorry. I think the difference that we're going to try and do today is think if we can transfer ourselves back into a past life where we were a dragon. So we'll guide you through a process, and very much would love some feedback at the end. If you saw anything, any of your senses picked up anything, and even we'll prompt that as we go. Even ask our dragons, is there something from that lifetime that we're still carrying? And then we're asking for a deep cleanse. And Rose, you were suggesting the fire and water dragon.
I am suggesting the fire and water dragon because I got that this morning. I was looking through the book and I had an orb sit right on that. And so let's go through the process, see how we go. Well, but I will show the fire and water dragon. And so how are we doing this, Claudia? You're going to talk us through, you're going to bring us all back to here right now, all of ourselves?
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah.
Let's do that and connect with the earth, connect with the universe. So I'm asking you all to close your eyes, take a deep breath. And make sure all of the past pieces of yourself that you have left with other people are right back with you. Everything that's not yours, return it to those who have left those with you, and feel cleared and cleansed within your core. And now we're asking the 100% pure divine light of Source to come down to us through all our upper chakras, clearing and cleansing anything that may be left, anything that is not helpful, and filling us with this 100% pure divine light, all our energy bodies and our physical body. And I see that little dragon at the core, jumping for joy, clearing and cleansing anything that may be left. And we're also calling in the love and support and the warm energy from Mother Earth to rise up through all her layers from her crystalline core, rising up through our Earth Star chakra, filling our physical bodies and our energy bodies with her warmth and support, and mingling with the divine light, making us whole, making us feel connected, standing tall and strong between the heaven and the earth. I'm channeling these words. And now we're asking to see and connect with ourselves in the life that we had as a dragon on earth. We're inviting to receive guidance, messages, information through all our clear senses to take us back to that lifetime so we can immerse ourselves again into that life, into that experience, and connect with those pieces of ourselves that are still so much a part of us and so important to us, making us whole. So I'm now asking you to have a look around. Look at the images that you are receiving, the smells, the messages, the knowing, this feeling of being complete. And I can see myself sitting on a ledge of a cliff and looking down the rocky cliff into a riverbed which is empty at this stage, and the earth has got an ochre color. So if you can't connect yourself or feel you need some support and guidance, then follow my visualization. And I'm feeling very happy and contented within myself, like the king of the mountain. And I know within myself where my family is. They're safe. My eggs are in a cave, always watched over by one of us, because we're working together as a team, as a tribe. And the feeling is very much around safety. I feel safe. I know where I stand. I'm firmly anchored between the heaven and the earth. I know my place. And I just sit there and observe. See what's coming, how the day is changing, the temperature is changing. It's warming up. I can see the whirring of the light from the heat, and I'm basking in its warmth, really enjoying myself. And I do see humans walking through that canyon now on a mission. No one is in danger. Everyone is doing what they need to do. And now I feel I want to explore. So I take a step, open my wings, and off I go, soaring through the wind, using the thermic winds, taking off in flight and really having a great time. Exploring, looking at the different colors. I can see the colors of the wind. I can see which ones I need to follow. And I just observe all the different kinds of colors around me. I can see indigo, purple. I can see green and yellow. It's just a beautiful, almost symphony of colors. So now I'm inviting all our dragons to show us a part in that lifetime where maybe something happened to us that we're still carrying and is showing in our physical bodies as a birthmark, as some form of marking on our skin, our hair, our eyes, funny color of our eyes, a different color. I'm being shown toes. Maybe you have a toe that looks different. So we're now asking your dragon to show you what you need to learn, what you need to see from that lifetime. Did you have a confrontation with someone, with something in nature? I feel like there was fire. You stepped in hot coals and burnt your feet. Now I see another one cowering under a tree because it's raining. It was such a downpour. The fire got taken and it needed help of the others to look after it and nurse it back to its own strength. I see an earthquake that took them by surprise, with boulders rolling off the cliff. Covering the safe ledge that you thought was safe, where your eggs are, where the colony of all the mother dragons is. Yet some of them got hurt. Their wings got broken, the eggs were destroyed. And I see the strength of the community. Everyone helping out, everyone supporting each other to come back to full strength, to grow again, work through the grief and the sorrow, support one another with so much love and just presence, being there for one another, listening to those crying out. That's all that was needed, our loving presence. And I feel it's a metaphor for the earthquakes that are still happening where so many are buried. Just be there in loving support. For everyone has to work through their own grief and loss. And will strengthen through the community to come back to being able to embrace the freedom of flight, the freedom of being the king of the world, even if you had to go through trauma. Never forget your position of strength. Being able to rejoice in the colors around you, the colors of life, colors in relationships, the love and support all around you. Being able to embrace what is freely available. Moving away from the shadows, from the dark side, into the light, into the colors, healing what is still being with us from that lifetime. At the same time, recognizing how loved we have always been by our community and by our Creator. So much love and support all around us, from our guidance system, from the ascended masters, from the angels, from the dragons, the unicorns. So much love and support. Let's bask in that and let go of whatever is holding us in any formal way stuck in that lifetime as a dragon. Of the dark, the trauma, we're letting it go. And we now want to invoke the fire and water dragon, who clears and cleanses and helps us supports us in this process with his warm steam. You'd think fire and water would negate itself, but no. It coexists into this hot steam that cleans and cleanses anything that is remaining, that we're holding on to, that is no longer needed. We now acknowledge where our physical symptom, in whichever form it presents itself, comes from. We acknowledge, we understand. We raise our consciousness through this knowledge. We now understand we don't need to hold on to this any longer. And the hot steam cleans and cleanses on our physical, mental, and emotional body, and astral body, and any other body you feel something is left. Clearing and cleansing that old energy and trauma that is no longer needed. I'm now all inviting you to take another deep breath and asking the dragon of fire and water to continue its job for however long this takes, and may it continue in our hours of rest, so that we wake up rejuvenated, lighter, and brighter. And at the same time, always remembering the strong community and the support that is always available. Now we want to take another deep breath and slowly come back into our physical bodies now. Feeling into it, feeling if we already have this feeling of being lighter, a burden has lifted. The ability to see more colors, to feel deeper, to use our clear senses in new ways that may have been blocked. And we thank our own personal dragon. We thank our higher self who has helped us, guide us to this lifetime, to the memories of this lifetime. We thank the fire of water and fire helping us through this process, and thanking the dragons in general, thanking our guidance system, anyone who has come today to support this process. Now we want to gently come back into our bodies, feel firmly anchored between the earth and source, and open our eyes gently. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh, Rose, thank you so much.
Yeah, there's the dragon. There's the fire and water dragon I'm sharing on screen at the moment. Can you see it, Claudia?
Yes, thank you. I can.
Really beautiful dragon, this one. For a moment, I'm just going to stop sharing because there was a lot of light language coming through for this dragon. Just want to say what was happening a little bit, and then I just want to talk about this. So, the fire and water dragon, I just want to show you. That is the water dragon. If you can see it, I have pictures of it. I just don't want to go look for it right now because I probably should have done it before. And that's the fire dragon.
Beautiful.
So this dragon that you just saw, which I'm going to put up in a second. Anyway, I'll put them up in a few minutes, seconds, whatever. This is the combination. The dragon that you just saw is a combination of these two. And the fire dragon helps you, burns up the lower energies around you. The water dragon helps you flow easily around your obstacles, right? The fire dragon, you are safe and protected, be determined and inspired, clear your soul pathway. The water dragon, Christ, light and love are flowing. Develop your psychic abilities and go with the flow. That's the message that's the message from both of them. In terms of the fire and water dragon, it enables your life to flow with loving force. Prepare for change and to move forward quickly. Expect the unexpected and have fun.
Nice.
So you can't make this stuff up because, honestly, now I want to put up the dragon because there's the language that was coming through, and I just want to see if it's still here. I could hear the dragon walking around on I always see big dragons.
Yeah.
I can see the small ones. And the one turned up and said, "Oh, yeah, I'm here to have a lot of fun." It's like, because, when you first started your channeling, it was like, see your dragon. And that's the one who was like, "Oh, I'm here to have a lot of fun. Don't try to contain me." Right. But it was good that we went through the memory of this, that you took us through a visualization of some things that had happened to dragons. And it focused on what happened to us when we were dragons in that lifetime. And so I feel like what I want to say about that is, if you're feeling like that at the moment, go within and clear the karma, clear that time and space that's coming. Like Claudia has presented in a rash, and she went in and she thought, okay, what do I need to do about this? What is my what is it that I need to do? Why is this persisting? What am I not addressing? And she went in and she did that. So what I feel is that when we're going through this, and I'm saying this to myself as well, because I have things persisting, all right? And go and find out what it is we need. Don't forget also, we have won the battle. And we are clearing karma. because the end result is already determined. We have won the battle. And it's just the journey to all the cleansing and clearing we have to do that we're in now. There's a lot of things happening in the world right now that we're not a part of. We're not a part of it. We've been designed and set up for this time where we will be in the background, so to speak of, and we'll be doing the thing that we came to do for higher purpose. And that's what I want us to remember, even when this is happening. It's not easy when you're suffering. It's not easy when the pain is intense. It's not easy when that rash is really bothering you and you can't sleep and you just want to scratch it or whatever. It's not easy when the emotions are not balanced. But remember that the work is to go back and clear it. The work is to go back and see and address it. And once you do that, you will have that level of clearing. If there's more to be done, it will come back to you. But do the work in that sense. And you can do it on your own. But you also have people like Claudia who do this clearing and, help you with the guidance in that. And I do need to mention it. I do need to say it because that's what the work is that you do. You work with people. Right, Claudia? Tell us a little bit about that. And then we will carry on with the dragon and the language.
Yeah, I feel we're all making so much progress. However, this time with the retrogrades we've gone through, with the eclipses we've had, 11:11, all these opportunities for growth have been so immense and they just keep being thrown at us over and over. And one thing that I have learned, and I really don't like it, but I've had that things come in layers. You can't click your finger and fix things as a whole. There is always another layer waiting because we are ready to address any and every kind of those issues. It's not just one thing, especially with chronic illnesses. There are so many layers that will be unearthed, but it's as much as it's frustrating, we need to stick with it and take those opportunities because that is the journey we're on, the journey to well-being, and it takes us all kinds of ways. It's not necessarily straightforward. So yes, definitely. What I have seen a lot within my clients and close relationships, there's a lot of deep things coming up now. The opportunity for really addressing a lot of heaviness and a lot of things that have huge impact on our lives at the moment is there for everyone. So if you're ready for the journey, take the step and just jump off that cliff and go. It is a journey.
Yeah,
Mm,
it's very much about being easy with self, right? I mean, it's
mm,
very much about saying, you know what, I'm going to be easy about this thing and I'm going to love myself and I'm going to accept that I'm in that position. Sometimes it can be really like you think, why am I dealing with this again? Or I thought I dealt with it. But it's important, that we address it and say, okay, so this is where I'm at, and I need to be attuned to that, or I need to be sensitive to it or aware of it. And okay, so what are my guides going to tell me? The work is constant at the moment, and 2023 escalated everything. And for me, for example, I've never been affected by the 8-8 portal. And this year I had an amazing download of something really intense and really deep. And I thought, what was that all about? And I sometimes go through the portals not even aware of it. Yet I've been doing meditation and things for years. I'm intuitive in a good way, in a big way. And but this year I had such a intense download for the 8-8 portal. Then we got to 11-11 and I had a weird day on 11-11. It was like, what? It was just not the way the day I was supposed to be. So we've got 12-12 coming up and we've got 2012 coming up. 21-12 coming up.
mm.
That is our solstice. And summer solstice in the southern hemisphere, winter solstice in the northern hemisphere. And just be aware of all of that. And you know what? Imbibe, enjoy, embrace, because this is for us. This is what we came for. This is clear that karma. Get out of it. Do not come back to do those same things again.
No, I
Because
think
it
that's the
is
attitude
time
to
to get
have.
it. Yeah, it
Yeah,
is time to get out of it. When I
yeah,
said, oh, I wanted to do ascension to the fifth dimension this time, in my human state, and oh yeah, and I didn't know what I was signing up for because I
yeah.
thought I didn't think it was going to be this intense. But it is. And also remember, we still have these bodies that are in the third dimensional space. The body's adjusting. I don't think my body is third dimensional anymore. It's multidimensional. For a lot of us, that's the thing. And even the chakras are no longer third dimensional. They are going to higher dimensions. That's why we're working with 12 of them now, not just 7 of them in the physical. That's why the colors have changed, all of that. So trust that, we are doing the work. It will get to where it's got to go. I can't say for anyone in their situation. I want to say it will get better. Of course, it's going to get better, but it's the work for 2023 has always been about self, because you think about how much we've done for others all this time, and it's been okay.
That's true.
It's
Yeah,
been about self,
yeah.
2023. Yes.
And that's not easy to put oneself first all the time, but I think we need to, or we can't help others. Mm.
Yes, so I have some dragon language for us. I think it's dragon language. I
Yes,
didn't know it was called
please.
dragon language, but yes. This dragon was walking around here. This dragon was like, here, all that. I'm going to put the dragon up again. It's an awesome, beautiful dragon. Hang on a second. I chose the wrong button. I know we don't want to record. We want to share the screen, Rose. Come on, technology and all that stuff. Here we are. Here's our dragon. Oh, zela 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 mazuko chofla zela kitovina hutsa zela zel zel zelo zum chukla bachulo tensklo. It's a let's zuts let's vola zele mez zolek click chlo 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 choe. Oh, jilek jalama jo jam geographer jonus gonna make so now it's gonna good kufrikna. He got some like good get out zigzu to get yo he check let's zo zolama de mezam mezamlo jufikat good zum kit ask it's it's lamazo zamakitamaitzo maitzo anakchame. Unsalamazo meleto lo tele zuma zezo zonza dala jukaniate. Ukrakta kamako to fakake take it anti kuchilani to grow animator. It's grows to jibo jiba, jilibits bits or jump chork champi kitotani tato tides. Ila tolo tolomatolo talamatero, semicelo, zelicata zotamai. Askara matskoro matkamakato markatamaki chola makita farana hitskoro zola kitamatsuma matsimakuto. It's a kitsumo tomorrow zamatsamaiko zamatsamo konzamata chikane chiklamato fra. It's about good like samako.
That was beautiful, Rose.
And I gotta tell you, I got that. I did this in reverse because I got the message I was talking about before about how we got this and how all of that was coming through the language earlier when you were doing your channeling. So what I saw now is, how you were talking about this water that you were over some water, a waterbed, and it was not completely full of water, and the water
Yeah, it
part
was
of
like
this dragon has said now that it's complete. It's filled with water. Yeah.
nice, nice.
It's also saying you're smoothly flying through this time. And so, it's a water dragon. It's a fire dragon. But you see, the fire dragon can fly. So, and you do have an air and water dragon. So there are blends of the elementals.
Nice.
I think the dragons really want us to know that even when we were dragons and when we were in that pain and strife and, we got injured or our families were taken or destroyed, there's a lot of healing in the water. There's a lot of healing coming to us in the water that the dragon is bringing in. And it's time to fly smoothly and be you. So the healing comes from the water. And yes, the fire is bringing in the energy that warms the body, especially that we have physical stuff going. So water that flows through and cleanses and removes the blocks, but fire too that warms up the body and removes the blocks. The body, the mind, the space, the emotional body, the aura, all of those things, we are okay. Healing comes from these things at the moment because that is the healing, the water and the fire.
Nice.
So
That's beautiful, Rose. Thank you. Yes.
So we had something we wanted to ask people to do this week, right? Now that we invoked the dragon or the dragons.
We
So
did.
we
Do
did,
you
and
think
I know what it is, but do you remember? Because I can say, okay, that's all right. So friends, when I started doing the light language with the dragons a few months ago, I noticed that I would see a lot of dragons in the sky in the form of clouds,
yes. Thank
right?
you.
And I would like to ask you to be sensitive about what you see around you. The dragons have come back. They have returned to earth. And if you believe in them, and if you know they belong to the elemental kingdom, by the way. They're like the angels, the unicorns, and the fairies, right? And they are, I think, ninth dimensional. They've come back, and the honor that they've got now is that they are ninth dimensional. And they will continue from there, right? Because they stayed on the planet with us, waiting for this time for our awakening so that they can take us through this process. So if you're having recollections of yourself as a dragon, then bring in your healing, bring in the stuff that you need to do for you to rise up and be the dragon you are. If you're having recollections of yourself as a dragon master, because many of us were dragon masters, then bring that being into you. But also, now that we've done this invocation, see where your dragons are, because they could be appearing in the sky just in the form of a cloud. They could be leaving dust in the sky, like as in cloud dust, if there's such a thing as cloud dust. They want to communicate with us.
Rock formations.
Yes, be
Mm.
open.
Mm.
And if you resonate with this, then tell us about your dragon experience this week, because
Yes,
next week
please.
we'd love to talk about it. We'd love to.
Yeah.
Somebody said this was their dragon experience or whatever, right? Yeah, you
Sounds
can't.
great.
Yeah,
Yes,
you
I'd love
invoke
to hear
them.
that.
Yeah,
Mm.
you invoke them. They're going to be honorable to you. They are loyal to you. They are here to you. They've been waiting for us to wake up to who we are in context with them. Right? Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Rose. Thank you
Thank
to
you,
all the
Claudia.
dragons. Thanks to everyone who
Thank
was
you,
here.
dragons. Oh
Thank you.
yeah, I can still hear the pitter patter of the feet here. On, I was like, okay. And by the way, I live with a dragon. My dog used to be my dragon at some point in a previous lifetime. I feel this heat in my fingers right as I'm putting my hands out here. Yeah. And
It's
they're
the
not
same
touching
with
each other.
it's the same with my dog. He used to be my dragon.
Yeah.
Yes, he was trying to come in, but the door was closed.
Yeah, and Baxter's got the mouth of the way his mouth is in front, like his teeth. He's got the teeth of the dragon in Merlin, and he's also got galactic eyes. Is the color of his eyes and
Beautiful.
not normal. So even our animals
Yes.
are bringing it in.
Yes.
Okay, everybody. So
Thank you.
thank you so much. So much love to all of you, and namaste. Catch you next time here
Thank
on
you.
Words of the Light series. Bye.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
Claudia.